Hey, what's up, everybody? I just wanted to do a video on a controversial decision that was over the weekend. We had a fight between Joshua Franco from San Antonio versus an Australian fighter who fights for top rank named Andrew Moloney. This was a rematch uh, fight from July 29th, earlier this year in the bubble in Las Vegas. And Joshua Franco was going in as an underdog on the betting odds. It was as far as 7-1. I think by the end of the by fight night, it was something like 4-1. But they just had their rematch this Saturday, and there was only 2 rounds. There was a controversial headbutt in the first round, and there was a 20 to 30 minute delay for the commission to sort things out. The referee called accidental headbutt live during the first round. He called it over to the commission. Robert Garcia in his corner heard it, and they asked their cut man Basil to get ready with the end swell, because they were going to have to work on that on Joshua's right eye during at the end of the rounds. So something that I want to bring to light that I found on Twitter that people might not know is that Moloney did not know that the ref had called an accidental headbutt. So that's why we saw him celebrating in the ring once the fight was called off. He was not aware that there was an accidental headbutt. He, based on his post-fight interview, he said that he saw it swell a little bit, and he went after it, and he started touching it and hitting and jabbing it over and over until it was shut in the second round. Robert Garcia has 19 years as a professional boxing trainer, and this is not his first experience with an injury. So he is an expert in the rules. So he knew clearly that it hadn't gone to 4 rounds. So because of if the accidental headbutt decision by the referee stood, that it would go to a no contest. So the doctor checked out Joshua Franco and called a halt to the fight. Now immediately you saw Andrew Moloney run to the corner, jump on the ropes and celebrate, and he thought he had the victory. He thought he had gotten his belt back, the one that he lost on July 29th versus Joshua. Another thing that I wanted to mention, Moloney was interviewed, and he shared that if he knew the ref had called accidental headbutt, he probably wouldn't have gone after it. He said that, and he said he probably would have left it alone and used shots to the body and other boxing punches until after the 4th round, and then attacked it and then gone after it. So that was shared. There was also important to note that the referee didn't share with the corner that the accidental headbutt had occurred. We're waiting on more information to see if Moloney's corner actually gets interviewed to find out if they knew or if they had heard, because we already heard from RGBA side. RGBA does a live show called Robert Garcia Unfiltered on Sundays, and Robert clearly heard it. There's no audience, so he clearly heard the ref say accidental headbutt, and they were going to start working on that swell. There's some fights that RGBA has dealt with. One that comes to mind is the fight versus Mikey Garcia versus Orlando Salido, where Mikey dropped Orlando Salido multiple times, and from a headbutt, Mikey's nose was broken. So they called a halt to that fight. And after dropping somebody 4, 5, 6 times, you're too far back on the cards. So they knew that they would get the decision. Another fight that comes to mind is Brandon Rios versus Diego Chavez. And in that fight, Diego Chavez had some insider information that Brandon had hurt his elbow in sparring or in training. So he was clinching and actually tugging at Brandon Rios' arm and actually forcing it up and trying to injure him or trying to create some pain. And that fight ended up in a disqualification, if I'm not mistaken. And then their last fight that I want to mention is a fight that they just had in Tijuana in the beginning of 2019. And Hector Tanajara received a headbutt. He has a scar here to this day. He has a big scar from Ivan Delgado. Now that fight had already gone 4 rounds, and they called a halt to that fight, and it went to Hector Tanajara. I was there. I was covering the fight. I wasn't covering it as media. I actually paid a ticket and just attended. But I have the fight recorded, and you can find that on my YouTube channel, Sontel Media, if you want to go see that. So I'm just trying to bring more light to more information that people might not have access to. That was important to mention those things that Andrew Moloney brought to light, and some of the things that Robert Garcia brought to light. This is my first time using this new StreamYard. So hopefully it records and hopefully it uploads to YouTube. I'm Sontel Media. I cover amateur boxing and professional boxing, and you can catch Hispanics Causing Panic every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 10 Atlantic. I show up on that show every once in a while with a G-Style and G-Funky. So once again, I'm Sontel Media. I cover amateur boxing and professional boxing. You can find me on Twitter, Sontel_media. You can follow me on Instagram at Sontel_media, and YouTube, all under the same banner, Sontel_media. All right. Thanks for watching.